Alright guys, I got a O2 Mercury Sable LS Premium, I guess it is. I don't know. 24 valve direct overhead cam. Problem is, I did a tune-up a couple days ago, and to do that you take the air intake off, and I flopped kind of this whole thing over here. When I moved it back to access the back spark plugs, when I moved it back, went for a little rip around the block and got a wide open throttle. Wouldn't come off. Said I was doing 60 and I was doing 5. You know, had to foot hard on the brake, put the parking brake off, and shut the engine off. Didn't know what was going on. Thought it was something weird. Tried it again. Same thing. Kind of when I was really kind of putting the foot way on the gas. So I opened the engine, and sure enough, this is the this is the cruise control cable. This is throttle, this is cruise control. So when you put the throttle down, it moves the cable in and out, and it's just supposed to slide through this bracket, and it goes down and over to there where there's a little servo in there. When you hit your cruise control, it locks the cable down tight and keeps your throttle exactly where you want it. Long story short, what happened was when I put the throttle way down and this was really pulled in, it got stuck open. So that's open throttle right there. Couldn't move. It's supposed to be locked in there tight. How? Well, there's supposed to be a clip right there, and then a little nub, which you can see broke off. And then, so that's not supposed to ever move. The cable's supposed to move freely throughout that, and then this just stays locked in. So, project for the day is replace this whole cable. I looked into just replacing this. I got one from the junkyard that's in good shape. It was $3. Fairly straightforward task. Slides off a pin there. This, you just squeeze the fingers on the inside here. Squeeze those fingers, slide it through. The only tricky part is getting this guy out. It's got a little tab right there. You push that in, it spins about maybe a quarter of a turn, pops off, and then there's a little cable in there, and it's got a little clip on it, and I'll show you here. But the trick is kind of that, which isn't too bad. I kind of figured it out there at the junkyard, use that as practice. So I'm going to try and not disassemble anything and swap this cable out with a good clip and go on my way. It's an O2, she hasn't got much life left, but kind of a big problem when you're wide open throttle. Luckily I was just around town, so didn't you know, I wasn't on the highway or anything, or had to stop quick, so I got lucky. So I'm not going to press my luck and, you know, play around with it. We're just going to get swapped out with a new one, well, a new to me one. So let's have at it. Let's take this one off first, and I'll show you the one we're replacing, the part that was broke. Put it on and call her good. So that, you can just push it this way and it slides off. It's just a little nub there. There we go. All right, see the little clips there. It's kind of hard to get that bottom one, so I was just pushing it down and pop it out. Again, at the junkyard, this is all off there, so I could just get a plier on it. This was gone already, and squeezed it. However you can do it. Putting it on is easier, obviously, than taking her off. So this one's chunk anyway, so do what you gotta do to get that baby off there. So that gets pushed in, and then just the whole thing will just rotate right over that cable. Might end up taking this air box off. I think I will, actually. Just to give us some more room here, I did take that off. The that cruise cable goes under the air box and then up. So why not give us you know, takes 2 seconds there. So here's our cable. Again, this pulls over and then you just pull up and that exposes your cable in there. Now I found this to be a little tricky originally at the junkyard. I'll give you a better look here. All right, here's our cable. So I think obviously what happens when you hit the cruise control, because this right now spins freely. When you hit the cruise control, that locks that, which locks the cable being pulled in at a certain length through the wire, through the throttle, and leaves you at whatever speed you're set. Now this little cable was just inset there, and that little pin there makes it so it can't jump out. So what you gotta do is move that little pin this way, and then pull the cable in and over, and that's it. Sounds easy. I found it to be a little tricky. I'll bring you along here. And then grab that cable and pull. It won't want to fall out. You got to get some tension on it. All right, one cruise cable. Installation is in reverse. I'll show you that still here. And again, the fault being this is supposed to be bridged. So this cannot move and do exactly what it did, which was that, and get caught open. Here we are, a new piece from the junkyard. $3.50 this cost me. You can buy just a brand new piece off Amazon. It looked like was the correct. Again, this is really just a literal cable, as long as the length is correct and such. I'm sure you could jimmy rig something, but I got the legit one off of eBay, or I mean off of the junkyard there. So as we can tell, the bridged gray piece there, and actually I was incorrect, this spins. So I guess the whole thing is lipped all the way around for that to spin but not come out. You see, if I pull that, it can't come out. So that piece gave way, which doesn't look as if it did on the on this one at all. Both sides look good here, so that's good. All right, so here we go. So there's actually 2 sides here. That side looks okay. However, if you look, you can see a crack there. This is the old one, but the big problem is that right there. Obviously no good. Broken, thus resulting in this coming off and getting stuck wide open. This one I cannot pull off. All right, ends are exactly the same. You can see how those just slide right on, and then this will just push in. Part number is there's your part number you want to reference. And this is, that was the original, and this is one of junkyard again, obviously exactly the same. There you go. All right. So we're going to reinstall the new one, and I'll show you that here. And we should be good to go. All right, I'm going to start reinstallation on the end of cable part, which is just here. Everything looks good on this side. Everything's intact and such. I'm going to start it on there because then I can kind of, you know, the rest of it's easy. It just slots through there and then snags on the very end there, and that's it. So And again, this little pin needs to get pushed in, and then it'll spring back onto our little indentation there, and then that keeps that from wanting to jump out. Bam. So when I push that in, I'll bring you in here. I just brought the end out here and slid it in its little groove slot back there, and then pulled it tight in right over our little pin, and it snapped it in. So this now cannot go out. Let's put our little guy here on. Put it in tight. Spin it. It's locked in now. So you just offset it and then spin it on normal, straight in. Run your wire back where you want. So you want this knob to be in the opening here, and then that'll be like that. And this will then just goes over the top and snaps on. All right. Good. This goes over the top. Snaps on. Make sure everything's seated nicely. And it is. All right, good. And there you have it. All right, again, you might be able to get away with not taking the the air filter housing here off, but those cables just run so tight under there, and it just makes life a little easier. It took me about 30 seconds. So again, reversal, for reversal you want to take that clip, pull it off, pinch in your fingers there to get that guy out, and then work here. You want to slide this out by pushing in that knob, lift it up to expose your cable, push in that pin, and then just grab the end of the cable, unless you can get a plier in there or something. Grab the end of the cable and just push it in. You know, I mean, it's not in there crazy hard, so just to kind of get it free of that pin, and then reinstall. So there you go. Again, $3 at the junkyard. That little clip, if you're getting a wide open throttle, take a look here, and you can see now I cannot pull those off. All right, guys, kind of a silly problem, but 20-year-old car, it's bound to happen with plastic, and not a hard fix at all. Check your junkyards. If not, you can get it off Amazon. I think it was 20 bucks or so. I might throw a link in the description on that if you don't have junkyard near you or whatever it may be. I believe that was, I could cross-reference the OEM part number there, I suppose. So take a look down there. If not, drop a comment. Any other questions or anything, let me know, guys. Appreciate it. And if not, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.